By popular demand, I'm going to be showing you how to make these foam board backdrops today. These are really great for children's parties because they are super lightweight, and they're also relatively cost effective to make, and they're completely customizable. And so for all of those reasons, they are super great for, again, hobbyists and specifically for children's parties. I use foam backdrops, custom foam backdrops for every kid's party that I happen to be helping host or decorate for. So the first piece is to create your backdrop. So you're going to go in Canva, and what went too quickly there is that you're going to put your width at 24 inches and you're going to put your height at 72 inches. That is the size of the prints that we're going to do. Now, obviously, if you want this wider, because that's a pretty thin board, and you can see in my example, I used 3 boards side by side. If you just want one theme, what you would do is you would make 2 different Canva prints in that size, and you would basically get 2 of them printed where they can overlap a little bit, kind of like wallpaper, and make one wider image. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to show what it would look like if you want this to be the 24 inches wide. The other option is you can, if you want to cut your board down shorter, you would still get it printed as a 24 by 72. You would just keep your image at whatever height you want it to be and then cut off the excess. So there's a couple different ways you can do this, but here's the general idea. And in terms of sizing and things, those things will just differ by project, but I'm creating an example here. This is not going to be a super cute example of a Canva print because mostly what I'm looking to do here is do this quickly. This is not a real project that I'm making here. This is just me throwing up a couple graphics so that I can give you an example, but basically this is what I do to create these foam boards. I create my image within Canva in the size of 24 width by 72 height. And if you're trying to use characters, what you need to do is go into Google and find non-copyrighted images of the characters and use whatever platform you like to use in order to remove the background from that image. I use Adobe Photoshop for that. Once your background image is removed, then you can upload that image into Canva and use it to decorate your background. But that is how you would use a character. But for the sake of time, I didn't want to go hunting for a non-copyrighted image for this video. So we're just going to use Canva images here. So once you have all of your images in place, I'm about to show you how to use your edit tool to upscale. You can see they're grayed out for these Canva images, but if you're using images you took off of Google or somewhere else, you're going to want to use that, or downloaded, right? You're going to want to use that upscale button, because what it's going to do is it's going to increase the quality of that graphic so that it prints clear and not blurry. Next, you're going to go to CVS and you're going to look for the repositionable posters. Repositionable posters have stickers on the back. It's a giant sticker, and that's what you're going to want to print. You can see here what I found was the 24 by 72 repositionable poster, and then I'm going to add my image right in there and make it fit so that it's ready to print. CVS usually does discounts, so you're going to want to find that and use whatever discount they have for this before checking out. Now, while you're waiting for that to print, you're going to go and get one of these foam boards from Home Depot. I tend to like to use the 1/2 inch, but you can also choose the wider one. And you're going to want to measure, and you're going to want to measure carefully. So I use a measuring tape to find the exact measurement that I'm looking for, and then I mark it. And there is a plastic film you'll see later that's on these boards. I like to leave that film on for this piece so that when it comes off, the markings come off with it. But then I'm going to get a tool that will help keep my measurements straight, and I'm going to use that tool. So I measure this in a couple different places, and then I use that tool to keep me level while I mark out where my cuts are going to be. So the tool that I'm using, not only is it straight, but you can see there's a leveler on it so that I can make sure that I'm keeping my lines completely straight and that this cut is going to come out in the exact size that I need it to come out. You're going to want to do the top of your foam board and the side. So you're going to be making two really long cuts to this foam board, so you're going to measure both places. Now you could do measure the long side and then cut it, and then measure the top and then cut that, or you could go ahead and pre-measure both and cut both at the same time. I'm kind of team measure cut just because I think it reduces the chances of you mismeasuring something. So take that for what you will. Once you have your measurements made, now it's time to cut. Now, if you're super skilled with a foam cutting tool, feel free to try to use that. But as a novice with a foam cutter tool, the first time I tried to cut these lines with it, it was a complete mess. I personally cannot manage to get straight lines with a foam cutter tool currently. So my recommendation is to just use your regular old X-Acto knife for this. You're going to cut it down your line, and you can see that I'm using a yardstick here. And the reason for that is, as serious as you try to be, your cutting can still get away from you. So I like to put a yardstick or some other tool that will keep my line straight right along where I drew a line. And then I put my knee on it for pressure. And then I make my cuts and I kind of push the side of the knife alongside the yardstick the whole way through, just to make sure my cuts are as straight and accurate as humanly possible, because it's a lot easier to get away from you than you think it is or than it looks like it is. Next, this is the part where we take off that film. Your marker is on this film, so it's time to take it off now. I like to do this at this step and not at the beginning. There's film on both sides, so you're going to want to take it off of both sides. Now it's time to put our poster on. So this is the 24 by 70 poster. Now in this video, I actually didn't pre-cut because I'm putting two side by side and I was worried I was going to overcut one side. But in your example, you will have already cut this to the right size. This is by far the hardest part of the whole thing because this poster is big. It is a giant sticker, and getting it perfectly on the edge is pretty difficult. But once you do, and you're able to stick that edge on perfectly, now you're just smoothing it down to make sure the whole thing is hitting the foam. And then you can see there, if you get bubbles, you just pull it up and put it back down. You roll a little bit of the back of the adhesive off at a time. You stick that to the foam, make sure there's no bubbles, make sure there's no waves, and then you just keep pulling your plastic down and keep securing the sticker to your foam board. Now this again is the scenario where you did not pre-cut your foam board. And so I'll show you next, once in this scenario, if you don't pre-cut your foam board, what the step would be next. But ideally, if you did pre-cut your foam board, you stick this on and then you're done. If it's pre-cut, you have no further steps. You're completely done from here and you're ready to move forward. So if you did not pre-cut your foam board, now you get to do the detailed work of trying to cut the foam off the edge of the poster. This is challenging. The good news is, even if you make a very tiny mistake, it's actually pretty difficult to see. There was a couple places here where I cut just a tiny bit into the actual poster, but when I looked at it from farther away, you quite literally could not tell that that happened, which was really great. I was glad it was so forgiving, but you still need to be really detailed because it's so easy to make a mistake when you're paying really close attention. So if you're not paying really close attention, then it's going to be really easy to make a mistake. So for me, the trick here was to use a really sharp, brand new knife blade and to use one that was long enough to cut through the entire board. And then I used the edge of the X-Acto knife and kind of like, how do I explain it? I used the edge of the X-Acto knife and I kind of pushed it against the poster so that the poster was kind of like a guide, sort of like the yardstick, because the poster's pretty thick. So now you got to be careful, because if you put the sharp part of the blade against the poster, that's when you start to cut into the poster. But if you can get the right angle where it's just the flat edge of the blade that's being guided by the poster, that's when you're going to be able to get like long, smooth cuts like I'm doing in this video. So that's how you do it if you don't pre-cut your poster board. As you can guess, this is much more difficult than just pre-cutting the darn poster board, which is why I recommend that. Now, while we watch me finish this up, because I didn't get a video of this, the last thing you're going to need to do with these poster boards is take the excess poster board that doesn't have any poster or print on it, and you're going to cut a big triangle out of that. Now, this triangle should have 2 really long edges and 1 shorter edge, and that's going to make the stand or the foot for your backdrop. So you're going to cut that big triangle out. Then you can duct tape or packing tape that triangle stand to the back of your foam backdrop. But here's the important part. You're going to want to cut a notch out of the triangle. So you're going to have one long side that's taped to the back of the foam board. The short side is what's going to be on the ground. And then there's one more long side of that triangle. That's what you're going to want to cut a notch out of. Cut a notch out of that because the notch is what you can use to put some sort of a weight on, because you are going to have to weight this down or it's going to blow away and fall down. It won't be usable. The good news is this foam board is so lightweight. There's all sorts of things you can use as weight. You can use one of those rice door stopper things. Those are heavy enough to hold this down. You could use, I've used just like stuff that was in my friend's backyard. So she had some tools for her fireplace. The first time I did this, I didn't realize that I would need to weight it down. She had some tools for her fireplace, and I just grabbed a couple of those and stuck them in the groove of the stand, and those were heavy enough to weight it down. And the other good news is this is the back, and you'll probably have balloons on either side of this, so no one's going to see whatever ugly thing you use to weigh this down in the back. But it is important that you cut yourself a triangle out of the same foam, you duct tape it on both sides to the back of your backdrop, cut out a notch, and find something to use to weigh it down. I now just keep a weighted vest in the back of my car. I use it when I go on walks, and then I also use it to weigh down all my backdrops when I do parties.